Hi, this is Little Dwarf playing games while rambling incoherently into a microphone. Why? Well, just because I can, and I continue with Mass Effect 3 Legendary Edition. Let's take a tour of the retrofitted Normandy and see what has changed. This room, as you can see, is very clearly new. This is a room where you analyze your sort of war situation. The people, weapons, and armies and fleets that you've accumulated are your war assets. The overall readiness of the galaxy determines how effectively these assets will perform in the final battle. So I need at least this to be able to trigger the ending, but obviously the greater the amount of assets you amass, the better your chances against the Reapers. The Systems Alliance represents humanity's economic, political, and military reach throughout the galaxy. Its naval forces are led by Admiral Stephen Hackett. Alliance Engineering Corps. The Alliance Engineering Corps cuts roads through mountains and builds bases on asteroids. While the bulk of the AEC has active wartime duties, their brightest are helping build a device of Protean origin recovered on Mars. Due to the staggering amount of raw materials required, the AEC has been given unprecedented emergency funding for any Alliance resources that will not interfere with the deployment of troops. The 103rd Marine Division. The old saying, "every Marine is a rifleman," still holds true in the Alliance. Every Marine enlistee, from clerk to sniper, goes through a period of infantry training. As a result, the 103rd Marine Division is Earth's largest collection of Special Forces elites, or of Special Forces soldiers. Officers from notable battles such as the Skillian Blitz and the First Contact War run harsh training exercises in a variety of environments, insisting the Marines be prepared to storm any bridge on any planet. The training has been useful in the Reaper War, as the 103rd can be fighting in Arctic desert 1 week and crawling through jungles the next. Alliance First Fleet. The First Fleet was stationed near the Charon Relay when the Reapers invaded the Sol system. By the time Admiral Hackett issued the order to retreat, its size, once the largest in the Alliance Navy, has been cut by half. Commanding Admiral Heinz Lindholm made the painful decision to use a tenth of the fleet remaining vessels as a cover so the remainders could escape. Her gamble paid off as the First Fleet limped out of the relay to rally with the rest of the Alliance forces on the run. Updated. This fleet lost a third of its vessels protecting the Council during the Battle of the Citadel 2 years ago. Unfortunately, the Alliance did not have time to rebuild the fleet to its previous strength before the Reapers arrived. So this is a direct consequence of my choice in Mass Effect 1. Alliance Third Fleet. Stationed at Arcturus, the Third Fleet is headed by Admiral Dieter Singh. When the Reapers came for the station, Singh had already pulled his command ship, the SSV Logan, back to an ideal firing position for its mass accelerator cannons. The Dreadnought's guns managed to slow down a destroyer before it could demolish the Third Fleet, but Singh was forced to retreat in the face of overwhelming opposition from the Reapers. This fleet also suffered casualties in the Battle of the Citadel. The Fifth Fleet became famous across the galaxy after spearheading Alliance forces at the Battle of the Citadel. It was guarding the Arcturus station when the Reapers attacked. After a bloody and desperate battle, Admiral Hackett gave the order to retreat, sacrificing the entirety of the Alliance Second Fleet to give the Third and the Fifth a chance to escape. The Fifth Fleet's engineers are busy repairing its damaged vessels, grimly anticipating a return to Earth and the revenge against the Reapers. This fleet also suffered casualties in the Battle of the Citadel. Diana Allers. Alliance News Network reporter Diana Allers has been broadcasting from the Normandy, interviewing crew members and high-ranking Alliance officers to give the galaxy an insider's view of the war. Alliance frigate Normandy SR-2. When the original SSV Normandy was destroyed, Cerberus rebuilt the ship from stolen Alliance plans. Dubbed the SR-2, the Alliance took this new Normandy apart and refitted some of its systems with new technology of its own. As a result, SR-2 Normandy is the highest performing frigate in the entire Alliance Navy, and possibly the fastest ship in its class. The Normandy is commanded by Shepard, an Alliance officer and humanity's first Spectre. To bolster the Normandy's firepower, Commander Shepard installed a Thanix magnetic hydrodynamic cannon on the ship's undercarriage. Based on Reaper technology, the powerful weapon fires molten metal accelerated to a fraction of the speed of light. Before taking on the Collectors, Commander Shepard reinforced the Normandy superstructure with Solaris armor. This protective layer of carbon nanotube sheeting can withstand temperatures that would instantly vaporize more conventional armor. The Normandy has been upgraded with the cyclonic barrier technology, allowing the ship's mass effect field projectors to fire rapidly oscillating barriers that deflect rather than directly absorb kinetic shocks. Mineral resources. I had a lot of those. It's actually kind of based on how many minerals you collected in Mass Effect 2, which I had a ton. Commander Shepard uncovered significant element deposits while scanning planets with the Normandy SR-2. When the Alliance dry-docked the Normandy, they seized all recovered elements. This material surplus has gone towards building the Protean device discovered on Mars. Kalisa Sinan Angelani. Westerland news reporter Kalisa Sinan Angelani reached out recently to her viewers with a wartime plea for unity and cooperation among all galactic species. Her sincerity touched the extranet viewers, and donations for war relief efforts are pouring in, both to the Alliance and its alien allies. Those will get periodically updated as you go through the game, so I will go back here from time to time to read the new entries. And now your old ship models that you had in your cabin are, for whatever reason, strewn around the ship. There's like a meeting table here.
I can't believe the council won't help. Come on, Sarah. If Thestia was lost and Earth hadn't been touched yet, you can be damn sure we'd be guarding our own borders.
That's true, and that's a remarkably sort of reasonable take on the situation. Because it's very easy to be annoyed at the council, and there is reasons too. Mainly the fact the galaxy as a whole has done very little to prepare for this. But then, as I said a number of times, Shepard himself hasn't done the best job convincing them that it's actually a real threat. Like, he himself could and should have done more to seem more convincing.
Commander, the Alliance has found a new Cerberus lab on Sanctum. Admiral Hackett would like you to investigate. Commander, come to check on your new recruit?
Just wanted to see how you were doing.
Still trying to get my bearings. When I was working on the Normandy's upgrades, I left at the end of the day. I didn't even have a toothbrush or a change of clothing until I made some emergency purchases on the Citadel.
Next time you need something, just ask. We're all in this together.
Oh, it's no trouble, Commander. I'm sure you have larger concerns.
We can put in a requisition order.
My toothbrush is a Cision Pro Mark IV. It uses tiny Mass Effect fields to break up plaque and massage the gums. It costs 6,000 credits.
Okay, yeah. You're on your own with that.
In any event, I appreciate you giving me the chance to stay. Was there anything else?
To put that in perspective, that is the cost of like a weapon, or half the cost of a suit of armor or something.
How'd you end up in the military anyway?
My family didn't have money for university. When the Alliance saw my aptitude scores, they offered me a full scholarship. I served my required years after graduation and decided to stay. I really like the challenges of the lab. Although, I'm sure I'll grow to love frontline service as well.
I'm surprised you're worrying about a toothbrush. We've got bigger problems right now.
Oh, believe me. Seeing the Reapers on Earth was terrifying. But I won't help anybody by bursting into tears here in the CIC, will I? Being here on the Normandy helps. If anyone in the galaxy can stop the Reapers, it's you. And if flagging your messages and managing strategic intel helps you in any way, then it's worth it.
You worked in Alliance R&D?
Yes. You'd think quantum entanglement would make communication easy, but imagine incorporating multiple incoming sources and then networking them with extrapolations of time-lag data to construct a coherent situation GUI. It's an exciting challenge. For me, anyway.
Where are you from originally?
A colony in the Terminus systems, actually. Though I studied on Earth, at Oxford. My parents were from London. They loved Earth, but they wanted the freedom a colony life could offer. Even if that freedom has its share of danger. If I recall correctly, you grew up on Mindwar.
Given what happened to Earth, I don't think we can count on anywhere being safe right now.
Quite true, Commander.
Carry on, Specialist.
Okay, let's check my email. Oh, already quite a lot. Special Ops from Stephen Hackett. Shepard, Alliance forces are stretched thin across the galaxy. We need your specific talents for a series of ops. These missions will open doors for the Alliance in places we can't touch through conventional means. We'll deploy operatives to hold the point after we've completed your objectives. I need you to head to Cerberus Lab on the planet Sanctum. I'll brief you when you are inbound. Reinstatement. Commander Shepard, this letter formally acknowledges your reinstatement into the Alliance Navy, as per Admiral David Anderson's recent verbal communication. Under Emergency War Power Regulations 903.5, you are hereby authorized to assume command of the Normandy SR-2. You are directed to begin interdiction operations against any and all enemies posing a threat to Earth, its colonies and its allies. Furthermore, you are granted diplomatic authority to establish treaties with non-human races as required to support your mission. Sincerely, Admiral Stephen Hackett. Emergency flash traffic, urgent. From the Alliance Fleet Operations. All Alliance military personnel. This is a galaxy-wide alert for the human territories. Fleet Admiral Hackett has declared threat condition Saber 1. Enemy presence confirmed in the Sol system. Earth under Reaper attack. All Alliance military personnel are directed to evacuate Sol system at first available opportunity. Do not attempt Earth approach. Heavy enemy resistance reported. Repeat. Do not attempt Earth approach. Further instructions to follow on coded channel Crimson Tacit. Earth-based Alliance personnel unable to evacuate are directed to commence any and all necessary countermeasures. All remaining Alliance personnel outside Sol Theater are directed to muster at pre-appointed staging areas and commence offensive combat operations at first available opportunity. In the absence of further instruction, independent action is authorized. K9, my dog. Commander Shepard, I was a contractor working on Normandy's haptic interface when it was in dry dock. Your VI, Edie, emailed me to let me know that I left my dog make on board. I'm all the way out in Terra Nova now, and I would hate for you to go a million clicks out of your way to drop off my dog. Please just take care of her. She likes exploring, sniffing chemical trails, and a 750-volt outlet. Thank you, and I'm sorry for the trouble. I promise she won't be too much of a headache. Andrea Brown. I don't remember there being a dog. Is this a DLC? Maybe I didn't have it back in the day, or maybe it was a patch. Alliance News Network alert. New article, Quarian Fleet. Citadel, where is the Quarian Fleet? The latest intelligence shows that the Reapers are taking system after system at a feverish pace. Members of all races are fleeing their stations, colonies, and in some cases, their homeworlds. This kind of forced exodus may seem especially familiar to the nomadic Quarians, who were pushed off their homeworld by the synthetic Geth centuries ago, but as the galaxy pushes back against the Reapers, the Quarians are conspicuously absent. Turian and Alliance spokespeople cannot provide the fleet's current location. They say they have other concerns at the moment. Whatever the Quarians are up to, they want it kept secret from the Council. After a refueling stop at Ilium, the fleet left no stated destination, and there are also reports of a galaxy-wide call for young adult Quarians to abandon their pilgrimages to rejoin the fleet. Greedy and short-sighted powers will always try to gain the upper hand in the times of galactic crisis. We can only hope that whatever the Quarians are planning does not interfere with the only thing that should matter, stopping the Reapers. Read Raxius Aurelius' regular column, View of the Empire, exclusively on ANN. Welcome back gift from Edie. While we were in dry dock, Joker suggested that a small welcoming gift would be appropriate to have on hand should you be reinstated as the commanding officer. As the ship does not have the capacity to accommodate the dancers he suggested, I chose something else from the official Systems Alliance catalog. Soldiers who have held an N7 designation for 5 years and more are entitled to a commemorative hooded jacket for wear on off-duty hours. You'll find it among a selection of casual clothing in your cabin. You have an upgrade waiting from Glyph. Dear Commander Shepard, some of the data you found allows me to research an upgrade for you. Simply access the terminal in Dr. Tessoni's office at your convenience, and you may choose how and when to implement it. Have a pleasant day, Glyph. Priority mission Eden Prime. Commander, Cerberus has attacked Eden Prime and is now occupying the colony. Alliance forces are stretched too thin right now to attempt to liberate the colony, but we've been doing what we can to covertly aid the local resistance. In the process, we've learned that Cerberus has uncovered a major Prothean artifact. We don't know what it is, but it appears to be the reason for their attack on the colony. We needed to infiltrate the colony and recover the artifact. Now, this is actually a DLC they have never owned, but it's kind of crucial, and there actually was a massive outcry among people for having such an important facet to the story cut from the game and sold separately. I'm pretty curious about it, because as I said, I have never owned it when I previously played Mass Effect 3. But I do also have some problems with this DLC, but I'll talk more about it when it is revealed what the Prothean artifact actually is and how it works.
Hey, Commander. You know, I had my doubts about the Council. But after years of ignoring your warnings, they're finally willing to step up and tell you they just can't help.
They're doing everything they can.
Did they at least validate our parking? Well, let me know if you want me to get them on the channel and then hang up on them. You know, for old time's sake.
Well, I never actually did that, did I? You can, and it's hilarious, but I never did that.
Commander? Commander?
This is a wall with like the casualties, major casualties so far. You can see Ashley here, Ashley Williams, as well as Charles Presley. Oh, we have like a poker table. Well, I can't enter the women's bathroom this time, which makes me wonder, do they have some kind of a, you know, electronic sensor or whatever? Which comes with its own host of issues when you think about things such as, you know, transgender people and the like. Like, better not think about it too long, because it might actually turn a little bit weird if I do. Like, I assume they just, I don't know, did that Actually, I don't know why they did that. Like, in Mass Effect 2, you could just enter the wrong bathroom and then EDI would make fun of you.
Commander Shepard, it's a pleasure to see you again.
You're the drone from the Shadow Broker's ship.
Dr. Tassoni now refers to me as Glyph instead of Info Drone, 95% of the time. If you have a moment, I'd like to draw your attention to a terminal in her office. It analyzes information packages. If you find any useful data, I can research upgrades for you.
And what should I be looking for?
I'll inform you if you've found relevant data. When you do, return to this terminal for your choices. In the meantime, Dr. Tassoni would like to speak with you. Have a pleasant day.
Meeting with the council didn't go too well, huh?
It was less than ideal.
I'm shocked.
At least the council can't deny the Reapers exist. But I'm not sure how much comfort that is while they bicker over which portion of the galaxy to save.
Wow. Becoming the big info brokers turned you into a real cynic, Liara. I like it.
I'm flattered. I think.
Have any of my models around? Nope.
Looks like you brought more than just that drone from your ship.
A few things were necessary. I'd be a very silent shadow broker without data feeds.
So you have access to your resources?
What I can get. We'll need it to research this Prothean device. Until we understand precisely what it does, it's far too dangerous to use.
Did the Protheans actually complete this weapon?
You mean, will it work? They wouldn't have poured their last resources into this device if they thought otherwise. But we really need to find out just what kind of weapon they left us.
It'd be nice to know we're not kids playing around with a loaded gun.
Absolutely. The damage it could cause if it backfired is unthinkable. This will be difficult even for us. If something happens on a mission, if either one of us are hurt, I'll always remember that tour of the Normandy. But let's be honest, Shepard, it's been more than a half a year. Should we continue where we left off?
Yes, obviously. I specifically withheld from romancing anyone in Mass Effect 2 just to be with Liara, so yeah.
I'd like that more than anything, Liara.
Good. I was getting worried.
There were a lot of reasons I was happy to see you on Mars.
I'd like that list, but later. There's so much left to do. I'm working with EDI. Hopefully we can discover what the Protheans left for us. But I'm looking forward to talking about something other than business. Maybe later? Hello again, Shepard.
What have you been up to since we last saw each other?
Since you helped me defeat the Shadow Broker, I started looking for defenses against the Reapers. The Protheans were the only ones with substantial information on them. The older civilizations barely had records. I knew the elusive man was hunting for the same thing when our agents began crossing paths.
Like on Mars?
I thought I'd covered my tracks, but he had surveillance there all along.
What's been happening with you as the broker, Liara?
It's been exciting. The old broker's ship? Impressive, but it was never meant to be space-worthy. Which meant the elusive man eventually tracked me down on Hagalaz.
What happened?
I knew he was coming. Farron and I loaded as much of the ship's specialized hardware onto a shuttle as we could. We got away from Cerberus' ships after arranging an appropriate distraction.
What kind of distraction?
Sending the broker's ship exploding into a Cerberus cruiser. I don't think the elusive man expected me to give up my resources in such a spectacular fashion.
You brought your little helper with you?
Its name is Glyph. It helped sort through all the data that led me to the archive on Mars.
It was a pleasure to be of assistance, Doctor.
Glyph's interfaced with the data feeds. Its analytical software should come in handy.
How much do you know about this Prothean artifact?
Very little. We're fortunate enough Data survived to piece together the blueprints. Decoding them will require as many specialists as we can find.
It's that high-tech?
I'd have killed for a glimpse of it during graduate school.
We'll talk later, Liara.
Of course.
This terminal contains non-essential correspondence from your allied forces. Dr. Tassoni has granted you access.
Message from Operative Ferron to the broker. I made contact with Tazik yesterday. The look on his face was priceless. He's not happy you put me in charge of scouting the terminus systems, but he's doing a good job of keeping us alive. I've never seen so many pirates and mercs on edge. The black market is unreliable, and it's getting harder to make contact with suppliers. The Alliance won't be able to rely on it as a source of crucible materials for long, if things get worse. Some of the other operatives think that we should cut our losses now, but I just keep asking them, when did the odds ever stop the broker? Protean notes from 2171 to 2185. Glyph, remind me to clean up those old notes. Perhaps reviewing them will lead to something useful on the Protean device. The University of Ceres agreed to sponsor me at a Protean dig on Draterop. Very exciting. Professor Hennel is leading the expedition herself. Maybe I can even ask for her opinion on my thesis outline. Attachment. Thesis on Protean First Contact Protocols. 2174. I believe Dr. Joshon was right to suggest that the Protean artifacts were unearthed from the Third Age and not the Fourth. What an embarrassing mistake. At least he seems to approve of the rest of the paper. A paper on comparison of Protean technology to modern Asari circuit logic. 2183 Part 1. I'm going on the Therum expedition. I never thought I would gain permission to visit the Protean ruins there, but the University of Ceres must have secured the funding after all. Now to pack. Attachment. Paper on the end of the Protean Empire. Goddess, this human shepherd has the key to comprehending the Proteans on an instinctual, subconscious level. If only I could have been her when the commander touched the beacon on Eden Prime. I'll try to learn more about this cipher on board of the Normandy. The involvement of the Reapers is troubling, to say the least. Attachment. Paper on the end of the Protean Empire with correction notes. 2185. I reviewed the old Shadow Broker's footage of the Collectors. It's chilling to know that they are Protean husks. At least nothing sentient could possibly remain after what the Reapers did to them. Attachment. Paper on Protean biology. Armor modkit. Ferron persuaded his contacts to ship an armor modkit to the Normandy. Technically illegal in the Citadel space, the kit's Omnigel converter and manufacturing fabricator can make a one-time modification to Shepard's armor, improving shield strength or adding thermal clip compartments. Armor capacity plus 5 or shield bonus. Well, obviously I'm taking the shields. Well, nothing else for now.
Please, enjoy your day.
Commander?
Everything okay down here, Doctor?
The Alliance team cleaned up and restocked, but it's still my old med bay. Feels like home.
Welcome back.
Thank you. Let's waste no time. If I may, I'd like to examine you.
Nothing wrong with me, is there?
No, but we should keep an eye on all those cybernetic implants Cerberus grafted into you.
Expensive stuff bringing me back.
And worth every penny. Let's just make sure everything is okay.
Guess a checkup never hurts. Just no scalpel this time, Doc.
Alas, to my great disappointment, it is nothing invasive. I'm just going to run some diagnostics on your implants, and it'll take a few readings. Good. Your implants are showing little sign of rejection. Just keep up that positive outlook of yours, Commander, and your scars shouldn't return. That's it. You're the picture of health.
How's our inventory of meds?
The medbay was fully stocked before you left Earth. We should be good for a long time, even given the amount of fire you take each day.
Do you ever regret working for Cerberus?
We didn't work for them. We used them. If I were to feel anything, it would be guilt. We took their money, took their best people, took their best ship. We used them to defeat the Collectors, and now we are using their resources against them. So no, I don't regret it one bit.
Well, actually, I do. Because it has been a number of people hold that against me, and I think they are right to a degree. Because even by associating with them, you're giving sort of an implicit, tacit approval to whatever they were doing, and I abhor them. They are horrible people.
You've never mentioned any of your family.
None to speak of, really. I'm the last of a prestigious line of medical professionals. The Alliance is my spouse, and you're all my children. I'm blessed with many close friends. But with each Alliance vessel taken, I lose one or two. We need to end this war.
I'll see you around, Doctor.
Take care, Shepard.
That's the body of the Cerberus android. It isn't really high heels. If anything, it's more like springs on the feet. Interesting. Although it has some much more ridiculous and annoying anatomical features, but to notice that it has to be turned the other way, so I'll talk about that when that happens. Okay, so that's where Diana is, I guess.
How's your new assignment working out, Allers?
Fairly normal, except for the unshackled AI, Matriarch Benezia's daughter, and the communicator that can reach Earth. The first two, I can deal with. That last one gets my attention.
So what are you asking for exactly?
Anything from Earth is the lead story right now. That's not opinion, it's fact.
Maybe I can pass on a few non-classified progress updates.
Seriously? You just doubled my ratings. I don't need FaceTime, just a data upload.
Tell people what's really happening on Earth. We need long recruiting lines on every planet after you air a story.
I can do this, Commander. Remind me to tell you about the time I made an Elcor cry.
Well, actually, I would like to hear that story. Even if it was metaphorical. So, that's kind of a dick move to tease that and then not tell me.
Commander.
Okay, I have to pause for a second, be right back. Okay, I'm back. So, let's continue. Engineer Adams is actually back from Mass Effect 1. I forgot about that.
Commander, welcome back to the Normandy. Or maybe you should be saying that to me.
Engineer Adams, what are you doing here?
I was put in charge of the drive core retrofits. My experience on the Normandy SR-1 made me an obvious choice.
So, what do you think of our SR-2?
She's incredible. If there's one nice thing I can say about Cerberus, it's that they know how to build a ship. And about that, Cerberus, I mean, I owe you an apology.
How so?
Back when you got this ship, Dr. Chakwas contacted me, asking me to help with your mission against the Collectors. I refused. I didn't have your back, and I'm sorry for that.
Why didn't you join us?
I saw what happened to you when the Normandy went down. I didn't trust that it was really you, and I certainly didn't trust Cerberus. Also, as an officer of the Alliance, I don't just leave my post, you know?
Well, that is all entirely understandable, and I hold no grudge whatsoever.
Your Alliance first. That's the way it should be.
Thank you, Commander. Glad to be aboard.
Does the new Normandy stack up to the old SR-1?
Stack up. It blows the old ship away. The Tantalus drive core has been completely overhauled. The SR-2 might be nearly twice the size, but the new drive core is 3 times bigger. This ship can fly. That said, Cerberus isn't too high on safety. If pushed past her limits, this core would vent into engineering. Guess it gives my team incentive to keep her well balanced during a firefight.
Do your job or get vaporized.
Pretty much. I noticed you upgraded the kinetic barriers with cyclonic technology. Should help reduce the draw when under missile fire.
Hopefully that means fewer vaporized engineers?
The IES stealth system is significantly improved. It can handle a higher blue shift of our emissions.
And that means?
We should be able to drop out of FTL without triggering every sensor in range. Very handy for stealth reconnaissance. All in all, the Normandy is a marvel of engineering.
What do you think of Edie?
We had a good talk during the retrofit. A little strange at first, talking shop with an AI.
AI? I thought Edie posed as a VI to keep the likes of you from unplugging her.
Yeah, but I saw through her. Have you seen her hardware? Processing power is off the charts. And then there were the problems that kept fixing themselves. If I hadn't had her pegged, I would have sworn I was losing it.
You never expressed any skepticism, Lieutenant Adams.
I figured I'd better play it safe with the Cerberus AI, Edie. No offense.
None taken. As long as you keep your fingers out of my cognizance processors.
In the beginning, I tried disconnecting her from key processes without giving myself away. Easier said than done. But Joker seemed to trust her, and in time I saw her advantages. Even grew to like her.
Okay, that's something I actually haven't considered when last episode I've been talking about how it would be pretty difficult to distinguish an AI that wanted to hide itself from a VI, but I guess he brings a very good point, which is like power usage. Obviously, true self-aware computing must be much more power hungry than just VI. So and you can't really hide that, right? She needs that to exist. She needs drawing those significant amounts of power. So like the best she could do, I guess, is try to convince them that it's some kind of a bug, but it's obviously unfixable without destroying herself, because it's not an oversight that she's using that much power. She literally needs it because she's not actually a VI, she's an AI.
Is your family okay?
My parents are serving on Viridian Zenith, an Alliance agricultural vessel. My sister is a navigator on the SSV Benjamin Davis. Happy to report that both vessels are safely under Hackett's command.
Carry on, Adams.
Aye, aye, sir.
I get a new deck here, which is the armory and the cargo hold, which technically speaking it isn't a new deck. You were here during the ending of Mass Effect 2. You fought the giant Collector Oculus in this space. Let me customize my stuff. As far as casual outfits go, I really like this, you know, the officers, sort of official officers uniform for the Alliance. So, you know, it looks very regal and cool, so I'll take this. As far as the armor is concerned, I will stay with the default and 7 armor. But I will change the color. Okay, I can have this for the time being. Weapon upgrades. I think I will upgrade my sniper rifle. Although, maybe it's a waste, because I will switch it as soon as I can. Increases damage by 15%, pretty cool. Increases damage by 5%, speeds perception by 25%, enhancing aim. Okay, pretty cool as well. It reduces weapon weight by 50%. Okay, I'll keep this for the time being. Oh, that's the robot dog. Is it like dead? Robotic dogs, by all accounts, should not be sleeping. Okay, let's talk to Lieutenant Cortez, who's a new character.
Lieutenant Steve Cortez, shuttle pilot. Got news about our supply chains, Commander.
Nice to meet you, Lieutenant. What's going on?
Sorry to just jump in, Commander. There's so much to be done, I get caught up in the tasks at hand.
He's always like that. You need to chill out, Esteban.
So you do care, Mr. Vega? Or is that the Cerveza talking again?
So what's happening with our supply chains, Lieutenant?
Alliance procurement chains are in chaos, but the Citadel's economy is still running. I can network to Citadel retailers. You can view inventory and make purchases right from this console.
When I network to a new store, I'll let you know.
It does cost more to coordinate delivery to the Normandy, so it's cheaper to buy supplies when you're there.
So you're my shuttle pilot, but you're setting up procurement chains?
I wasn't assigned as Normandy's pilot. Not much need for one on a dry dock ship. I was overseeing the retrofit of the cargo hold. I'm quite familiar with the operation and maintenance of the UT-47 Kodiak and the M44 Hammerhead. In my experience, it made sense for me to take over as shuttle pilot when we left Earth. Especially given Mr. Vega's love of mid-air collisions.
To save the day, pendejo.
I'm also responsible for logistics, making sure the armory and shuttle are properly stocked and maintained.
Do you maintain this armory?
I share that duty with our illustrious Mr. Vega. Though I believe the only weapon he really cares to maintain is himself.
You know you love the show, Esteban.
The first retrofit we did was to move the armory down from Deck 2. I'm not sure what Cerberus engineers were thinking. Now you get off the elevator, pick your gear, and head right into the shuttle.
Just like the original Normandy.
Welcome back to the Alliance, Commander.
The Kodiak seems a bit different.
Good eyes, Commander. This is the UT-47A Kodiak. It's got an upgraded EZO core and prototype stealth technology based on the Normandy design. For quick drops, I can get you in and out virtually undetected. She flies like a brick, so that's why you need a good pilot.
What happened to the M44 Hammerhead?
It was sent to the tech labs for a retrofit. To afford mobility with such a small EZO core, its design sacrificed armor plating. The lab engineers are trying to improve that. After the Reaper invasion, those labs are probably just a pile of rubble.
How long have you been with the Alliance?
About 10 years. I enlisted in First Fleet serving on the SSV Hawking, flying F-61 Tridents mostly. I love the Trident. It practically dances in low atmo. I spent as much time tinkering on my bird as flying her. Got a bit of a reputation.
So, you can fly fighters and fix them?
Yeah, and I got a knack for procurement too. They were grooming me for CAG, but my skill set made me more valuable commanding a flight deck. They assigned me to the Normandy retrofit team about 5 months ago to oversee all cargo bay modifications.
You were stationed on Earth. Do you have family there?
I'm an only child. Lost my parents years ago. I had a husband back when I was stationed at Ferris Fields. The collectors took out the whole colony. I'd rather not talk about it.
Keep up the hard work, but don't kill yourself.
Yes, Commander.
Okay, let's take a look on the rest of this deck and start with James as well.
Hey, Shepard. How'd it go with the council?
Same as usual. Non-committal. Unhelpful.
Bet they still wanted you to help them out, no?
Yeah. We're gonna rescue a Turian Primarch from Paladin.
Sounds like fun. Never been to the Turian homeworld. You down here for a reason?
Now, I'm not a, I'm not a soldier and not overly familiar with military regulations, but isn't it, like, ridiculously disrespectful to not even face your commanding officer when he comes to talk to you on duty? Like he's literally just, doing his thing, exercising while I'm talking to him. He doesn't even look at me.
Just came down to talk.
Great. Not sure what there is to talk about. You already know my service record.
I don't, actually. I didn't have access to personnel records when we met.
Right. Forgot about that. Well... Think you can dance and talk at the same time?
I think I can handle it.
Okay, loco. Let's dance.
Don't push your luck, Vega. With age comes wisdom. And rank.
Ha! You sound like my old CO.
Oh yeah? And who was that?
Captain Tony. He was a hard-ass son of a bitch. but a good leader. Nice.
What do you mean, was?
Died. With most of my squad. Protecting a civilian colony from a collector attack.
And the colony?
It was either them, or the intel we had on the collectors. Intel we could have used to destroy them. I chose the intel.
Sorry. That's a tough call.
The best part was, we didn't really need the intel in the end. Because you were out saving the galaxy by taking down the entire collector homeworld.
You didn't know. You can't blame yourself, Vega.
Who says I'm blaming myself?
I do.
You a shrink too?
Nope. But that stunt back on Mars was reckless. You're lucky to be alive.
So?
So? Maybe you don't care if you live or die.
Or maybe... I'm just willing to do whatever the fuck it takes to end this goddamn war!
Maybe you are. But if you're half as good as I think you are, we need you alive.
Thanks for the pep talk.
Anytime.
Hey, thanks for the dance, loco.
I'm not that big on nicknames from people I barely know. Like, this is a bit harsh, but you know, I don't actually consider him my friend. I barely know him.
No nicknames, Lieutenant. Okay?
Your ship, your rules. Your loss. Commander. Hey again. What's up?
What's with you and the nicknames?
It's just my way of remembering people. Some people just don't match their names, you know? So, I just give them a new one.
Right.
To be honest, even the way he explains it is disrespectful to me. He's like, oh, your name? That you go by? I don't care about it. I'm just going to give you an entirely new name on my own volition without even, you know, consulting you.
I take it you and Lieutenant Cortez know each other.
Yeah, Esteban did a stint on Fel Prime where me and my squad were stationed. I caught up with him on Earth a few months back. He's a good guy. Just don't tell him I said so. It'd go to his head.
You mentioned a mission you had against the Collectors. What happened?
Pretty much what I said. Things went foobar, and I was one of the few to make it out. If you want the rest of the story, you're gonna have to get me really drunk, or...
Or what?
That's about it. Sorry, Commander. Just not interested in talking about that. Next topic?
You had a hard time leaving Earth. You still want to head back?
Hell yeah. But I get it now. It's not where I'd be most useful. Not yet, anyway.
We'll get back there.
I know. And I'll do whatever it takes to get us there, Commander.
Maybe no more shuttle crashes.
No promises now that I've gotten the taste for it. Besides, I like to keep Esteban on his toes.
You got family back on Earth?
Yeah, an uncle. Retired military. Got a few cousins I haven't heard from in a while.
You and your uncle close?
Yeah. He was the reason I joined the Marines and was about the only good thing in my life after my mom died.
No dad?
He's there. Somewhere. But I'm not sure I'd call him family. Not anymore. I would like to find out how my uncle's doing, though.
I'll talk to you later.
You bet.
Now, I must say, I don't much care for James, and in fact, I am a bit perplexed by the idea of introducing a new character in Mass Effect 3 when there's already such a treasure trove of cool characters from Mass Effect 1 and 2. And in fact, you know, only a handful of them return to your crew in Mass Effect 3. And I'm pretty sure if someone is a fan of those other characters that don't return, they must feel kind of sad about it, right? And here you waste a companion slot on this new guy that isn't even particularly interesting. You don't have history with him or anything. I think it's a weird choice, and I disagree with it. But that was a tour of the Normandy, and this episode has been long enough, so I'm going to save and end it for now. That's all for this one, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!